Oh, all right. Just a second.
Sir, have you started recording?
Yes. I just started recording. Yes. Can you all see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Right. Okay. So I just want to talk to you guys on importance of music in education or in modern education. So guys, can somebody tell me what and why do you need to learn music at all? You know some of the things that are really important and some good things about music that will help you become a better person in future. Are
So
you
it's a
aware of that?
major stress buster and
Wow,
it
wow,
relaxes.
wow. Amazing. Yes, it's a major stress buster. Thank you, Alia.
So it gives you a good temperament.
It gives you good temperament. Good job. Thank you. Thank you.
Memory.
Yes, you
So
can just speak
music
up.
is a language.
Yes, music is a language to communicate. Perfect. Good job, yeah. Good job.
What about memory?
Yes, helps you memorize. So you guys know better than me, right? You guys definitely know better than me. Okay. So why music at all? So music can, as you can see on the screen right now, it can uplift your mood. How many of you, listen to music when you are like really down and out? And no matter how down you feel, yes, raise your hands. You don't have to raise your hands digitally. You can just raise your hands. Okay. Okay. All right. Yes, two participants raise their hands, and everybody show your hands on camera. Yes. Yes. No matter how down you are feeling, you when you listen to music, you instantly feel energized, and you can instantly relate onto the music that you are listening to. You feel that that person who has composed a particular music is singing or has composed it right to you. It walks straight into your heart, right? That's what is very special about music. A good song can make you feel happy or sad or in love or angry, right? In recent years, scientific studies have confirmed the connection between music and mood. Okay, music and mood. Some studies have even found that listening to music that you enjoy increases the overall confidence and overall performance. How many of you have, or how many of you are into the habit of listening to music and learning? Yes, no, no?
So first I listen to the music and then after
Exactly.
that I do.
That's what I meant. You should listen to some music first so it gives you an overall confidence, it gives you an overall boost. And then when you start learning, you feel very refreshed. You feel as if you can take in more than without music. Have you felt that before? I guess so, because I've done the same with my
Yes,
learning
sir.
methodology and it has worked out. 90% of the times it has worked out. So that's a good way to boost your confidence, to boost your concentration and everything. Music is non-invasive, cheap and safe intervention, or you can call it in medical terms, it's a good medicine for your heart. So if you're feeling down, you don't have to go and have some antidepressants. You just have to listen to music. It's safe, it's easy, and it's cheap. So you don't have to go to a doctor. You just listen to some music. Instantly, you'll feel, wow, I feel better. Take 5 minutes out of your daily schedule if you're feeling stressed. Listen to some music, and voila, you'll feel better instant. And even studies have shown the same. A person who is constantly or regularly listening to me. I am using the word regular. Regular doesn't mean that 24/7 you should listen to music. No. You can choose a particular time when you're traveling or when you're alone, when you're feeling down and out. You can choose a particular time and then you can listen to music. But you should listen to it regularly so you feel instantly up, high, and full of confidence. Okay. Music, as you know, has a billion positive effects on your overall confidence and well-being. So that is all the points about what music, listening to music, I would like to term listening to music can do to your overall confidence and to your overall mental well-being health. So we move on to the next one. Yes, now coming on to a section. Now, from a listening, from an active listener, you're going to somebody who can play an instrument or who can sing. Okay. So, what are the different instruments? By the way, I've given you some examples. If you can just tell me some of the other instruments that are not mentioned here, it'll be
Flute.
nice. Flute. Good job. Yes. Thank you,
The
Divya.
violin.
Yes, the violin. Yes. I've
Tabla.
missed some of them. Okay, tabla.
Ukulele.
Saxophone.
Saxophone. Okay.
Ukulele.
Sorry.
Ukulele.
Accordion.
So ukulele.
Ukulele. Okay, that's a good one. Right now, Mridangam is a good one. Good easy
Guitar.
instruments.
Bass.
Bass guitar. Okay.
Flute.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that overwhelming response. Yes, there are a lot of instruments, and if you want, you can invent instruments on your own. Did you know that? You just need some simple tools at home, like a rubber
Yes,
band,
sir.
2 strings. You can start playing on that. I've
Hmm.
tried. It's quite fun. Okay. If you have time, or if you want to take a break out of your busy study schedule, just try inventing some musical instruments. Have you heard of an instrument called kalimba?
Yes, sir, I have.
Yes. Have you seen a kalimba
Yes,
before?
sir. Yes,
Okay.
it's
So
like a
yeah,
good tiny little things.
it's tiny, portable, and you can have it and you can play
Yeah,
with your both fingers, right? You have
fingers,
small
yeah.
metal plates on top of them, and you can start playing anywhere you want. You don't need electricity. You don't need internet. These days, we are quite hooked on to internet and social media. But hey, if you want to unplug, use a kalimba anywhere. It's an instant stress buster. So you should try that instrument. It's very cheap too.
Sir, vibraphone.
Vibraphone. Yes, vibraphone is a good instrument. But have you seen one in India before? Vibraphone.
Yeah.
You have seen a vibraphone in India?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's amazing. Okay. That brings us to different instruments on the screen. The popular ones, that is the guitar, piano, drums, vocals. These are the most popular of all instruments. And as you mentioned, while learning an instrument, because just like listening to a piece of music, you can actually get a lot of stress out of your body by just playing and concentrating. It's a good mental workout. It produces patience and perseverance, develops musical appreciation. Okay, that's really important. If you know how to play an instrument, somebody who's playing, you instantly appreciate them, no matter how bad they are playing. You can think of the level of effort that they are putting into, and you can start immediately accepting people even if they are making mistakes. So it gives you a sense of relation to that person. Okay, so if somebody is playing a guitar, he makes a mistake, and if I know how to play the guitar, I feel okay, I have gone through the same stuff, so that's quite okay. I can accept the mistake, and if I am better than him, I can teach him how to get it done. I think that's where we should head, other than just you can see people right now on social media blaming each other and things like that. But let's all learn how to work together and make this a better place. It develops creativity, as you all know, and it also develops time management skills and memory capabilities too. Time management. Can you tell me how you can manage time by playing an instrument? Anyone? Any ideas how you can manage your time by playing an instrument?
Sir, we should make a timetable.
Okay, you should make a timetable. That's a general approach. Any specific ones? Okay, I'll give you an example. So the thing is, when I was doing my 10th grade in school, I was supposed to finish grade 6 of keyboard at that time and also attempt my 10th board exams. Right now, you guys are kind of like in the same safe zone because you don't have examination for the past 2 years, right? It's getting postponed, right? But I was in a time where 10th standard exams were like your turning point. Parents used to tell me, "Oh my God, 10th standard exam! Oh, okay." So I had the pressure of a grade 6 and a pressure of a 10th standard examination too. But I learned how to manage just because of music. Music taught me how to manage my practice time. Music taught me how to manage my study time. So I was having to maintain cycles of intervals also in between. Music also helped me to understand that recreation is also a part of studies, like playtime. This is a time where you go out and play football with your friends and things like that. So it also helped me to manage my playtime, come back and be in a certain schedule and a discipline so that I can work out everything in my life. That's how it helped me to manage all of my studies, musical capabilities, and also my play and recreation time. And finally, as you've said, it also improves memory capabilities. You can memorize a piece of music. And how many of you have done this? How many of you have learned formulas in a musical way? A plus B, a whole square is equal to A square plus 2AB plus B square. Still works for me.
Yes, I've done that.
Yeah, you can rap your way out of exams, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you can relate to all those stuff. And I still remember A plus B the whole square because of this rap. Although I'm not into maths, I'm not into not into my academics anymore, but I still remember A plus B the whole square. And I'm quite ashamed to tell that that's the only stuff that I remember in maths. So I'm really sorry about that. Just kidding, guys. But that was true. Okay. I only remember. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. I have an interesting video to show you. Why learning an instrument?
Sir, the sound is not coming.
Sound is not there?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Just a second. Sorry about How about now?
Yes, sir.
It's coming.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, we can hear.
Did you know that every time musicians pick up their instruments, there are fireworks going off all over their brain? On the outside, they may look calm and focused, reading the music and making the precise and practiced movements required. But inside their brains, there's a party going on. How do we know this? Well, in the last few decades, neuroscientists have made enormous breakthroughs in understanding how our brains work by monitoring them in real time with instruments like fMRI and PET scanners. When people are hooked up to these machines, tasks such as reading or doing math problems each have corresponding areas of the brain where activity can be observed. But when researchers got the participants to listen to music, they saw fireworks. Multiple areas of their brains were lighting up at once as they processed the sound, took it apart to understand elements like melody and rhythm, and then put it all back together into unified musical experience. And our brains do all this work in the split second between when we first hear the music and when our foot starts to tap along. But when scientists turn from observing the brains of music listeners to those of musicians, the little backyard fireworks became a jubilee. It turns out that while listening to music engages the brain in some pretty interesting activities, playing music is the brain's equivalent of a full-body workout. The neuroscientists saw multiple areas of the brain light up, simultaneously processing different information in intricate, interrelated, and astonishingly fast sequences. But what is it about making music that sets the brain alight? The research is still fairly new, but neuroscientists have a pretty good idea. Playing a musical instrument engages practically every area of the brain at once, especially the visual, auditory, and motor cortices. And as with any other workout, disciplined, structured practice in playing music strengthens those brain functions, allowing us to apply that strength to other activities. The most obvious difference between listening to music and playing it is that the latter requires fine motor skills, which are controlled in both hemispheres of the brain. It also combines the linguistic and mathematical precision in which the left hemisphere is more involved with the novel and creative content that the right excels in. For these reasons, playing music has been found to increase the volume and activity in the brain's corpus callosum, the bridge between the two hemispheres, allowing messages to get across the brain faster and through more diverse routes. This may allow musicians to solve problems more effectively and creatively in both academic and social settings. Because making music also involves crafting and understanding its emotional content and message, musicians often have higher levels of executive function, a category of interlinked tasks that includes planning, strategizing, and attention to detail, and requires simultaneous analysis of both cognitive and emotional aspects. This ability also has an impact on how our memory systems work. And indeed, musicians exhibit enhanced memory functions, creating, storing, and retrieving memories more quickly and efficiently. Studies have found that musicians appear to use their highly connected brains to give each memory multiple tags, such as a conceptual tag, an emotional tag, an audio tag, and a contextual tag, like a good internet search engine. So how do we know that all these benefits are unique to music as opposed to, say, sports or painting? Or could it be that people who go into music were already smarter to begin with? Neuroscientists have explored these issues, but so far they have found that the artistic and aesthetic aspects of learning to play a musical instrument are different from any other activity studied, including other arts. And several randomized studies of participants who showed the same levels of cognitive function and neural processing at the start found that those who were exposed to a period of music learning showed enhancement in multiple brain areas compared to the others. This recent research about the mental benefits of playing music has advanced our understanding of mental function, revealing the inner rhythms and complex interplay that make up the amazing orchestra of our brain.
All right, guys. So you just saw what exactly is going through your brain when you learn an instrument. And there's a catch to it. Not every instrument player is like, getting super smart cognitive skills. But they've mentioned that. Can somebody tell me, somebody who has what kind of an instrument playing session is able to have intricate cognitive decision making? Can anyone tell that? I don't know if you were able to listen to it properly. I was able to stream it quite well here. So I hope you have.
Sir, we could listen.
Sorry? Yes, Santosh, you can tell me. Was not able to hear you.
Sir, I'm Khyati.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, we could hear the video properly.
Wow. Okay. So any musician who has been exposed to years of practicing, okay, the word practice.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you have to have good systematic amount of practice session over a period of time Okay, over a period of time. That's really important. And that, with that, we are going to the next slide. Sorry. Yes. How to practice creatively and how to improve your cognitive and behavioral skills with the help of practicing. So these are some of the interesting practicing techniques that you can have at home. The first one, as you can see on the screen, is creating an atmosphere. So what do you mean by creating an atmosphere to practice? Let me tell you a scenario. You have your smartphone in your hand. If you are a piano player, you go and sit in front of the piano with your smartphone, and voila, you have a message, a WhatsApp message from your friend telling that he's going to watch a movie. Would you like to watch it with him? You can stream it together. Now we are in an age where you can stream the things together. Yes. So is that an ideal situation to practice? Can somebody tell me?
Yes, sir.
What? Are you sure?
No, sir, that's not an ideal situation.
That is
No,
not an
sir.
ideal situation. Okay. So you will have to have some time on your own. Say, for example, let's not have too many big aspirations. Just start off with 20 minutes of your time. 20 minutes of your time. Keep your smartphone away. Take your sheet music or whatever learning materials that you have in your hand. Go to your room where you have your instrument. Spend quality time with that instrument. Okay. And quality time means you should also be having a pencil, a sharpener, and an eraser. You might be wondering, why should I take a pencil, sharpener, and an eraser when I'm going to learn an instrument? You know what I used to do? I used to make notes on the sheet music that I used to play on. That gives me instant idea of what is coming ahead, what I should be preparing for, and what I need to look into to have a very smooth performance. Everybody likes a smooth performance. Nobody likes a performance where you say, oh, okay, I messed up. I want to play it once. I mean, you guys have gone through that, right? Yes. So all of you need to have a smooth performance when you are performing. So if you want to perform like an angel, you have to practice like a devil. I mean, not exactly like a devil, but you get the idea, right? So make an atmosphere for yourself, have all the stuff with you. The 20 minutes of your time should only be spent on practicing and not running around to find an eraser, not running around to find a pencil, but it should only be your practice session. You can make notes on it and you can just fix an amount of space that you're going to practice. Don't get into the aspiration of, I'll finish the whole song today. Maybe if you are well and capable enough, you can. Yeah, I can see somebody drawing on it. Can you please erase that off? Thanks. Okay. So when you where was I? Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I used to make notes on it so you can instantly have an idea where you can start practicing and get your performance as fluid as possible. Give enough space for your practice and decide how many lines or how many bars that you are able to practice at that point, and you will be able to do it. Next, warming up session. As instrument players, do you warm up before you start practicing? I mean, before you start practicing, do you warm up?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Can someone please tell me what are your practice or what are your warming up regimes that you do before you start practicing?
Sir, I do like finger tricks. So like I do finger tricks before practicing anything so that I warm up my fingers before playing guitar.
Excellent. Really good. Really good. That's an ideal way to. Yes, please speak up.
Some finger stretches before playing guitar.
Exactly. That's also really cool. Finger stretches.
So I do skills before I play the piano or the guitar.
That's an amazing warming up technique. Yes, thank you. So you have n number of techniques. And if you are into professional playing, you have also seen books like Anand, Cherney. Have you all come across those books?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
So you
sir.
start practicing them in a particular fashion to get the intensity, the dynamics, and the articulation ready before you start practice. And why is warming up needed? Can you answer that too? I mean, you guys are very, very, very well versed with your. I can understand by the way you answer. So why do you need
So
warming up?
it's to easier to play or sing what you do.
Yes, exactly. It becomes much more easier. Now, let me explain what is going on behind the scenes, just like the video. Yes, you are absolutely right. It makes you, ready for your practice session. But without warming up, you may risk getting injured. Okay, let me tell that once more. You may risk getting injured, and that is quite serious, and that can be quite demotivating. I'll give you an example. When I was back in 2010, yes, when I was doing my grade 8 of piano, I came across a piece called The Harmonious Blacksmith. So it kind of like recreates a scenario where a blacksmith is working on his product and it's harmonious to listen to. That was the ideology, and it was quite fast. You have several leaves, leaves and trills coming in. So I was practicing and without warming up. Okay, I was practicing without warming up, and I injured this muscle on the piano. Can you believe that I injured my hand because of the piano? And it was quite a bad injury too. It took me almost 3 weeks to recover from this muscular injury. Although there was no cuts or bruises, you cannot see. But the thing is, your hands were stiff. My hands were absolutely stiff, and I couldn't move my fingers for 3 weeks. So my sir, Mr. Robin Thomas, he told me to take complete rest. Don't touch the piano for 3 weeks, and that's what I had to go through. And all the 3 weeks, I was having dreams of completing my grade 8 and not able to practice. You know how demotivating that is? So, in order to avoid that, you need to warm up to avoid injury. And that's the greatest factor. All right. Next, have a set goal. Just like what I mentioned before, don't give yourself unrealistic dreams that you're going to finish a one whole piece in one day or maybe within 20 minutes of your time. No, don't do that. If you're not able to finish, you're going back to demotivating yourself. Okay. So see that you have realistic goals like you're going to finish 2 lines or maybe 4 bars or 8 bars, depending on the complexity of your piece that you're playing, and have set goals and get up only after achieving those goals. Okay. So set a goal, get up after achieving that particular goal, and then reward yourself. Rewarding yourself is easy. After you practice, go watch your favorite show on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, whatever. You can order some pizzas from Domino's. Treat yourself. Okay. So these are some of the interesting practice techniques that you need to follow. Just like I mentioned before, this will help you get into one particular discipline so that you may achieve your dreams of mastering an instrument much more fast. It will not give you unrealistic results like achieving a master level within what 3 weeks. No, as you can see some of the ads in the social media, you I don't want to pick up any apps, but they promise you a great achievement within 3 weeks. It's not going to happen. Let me be very frank, it's not going to happen. You may achieve something, but you can't be an overall musician. The highest level that you need to travel is being an overall musician. You should have composition capabilities. You should have a profound knowledge in music. You should be able to understand what others playing and communicate in such a fashion that you complement the performance. That's an ideal musician. I can promise you in 3 weeks' time, no, you're not going to reach there. Okay, that brings us to the next slide, which is how to set goals and how the qualification in music can help you with complementing something to your education. So just like I mentioned before, you need to set goals. How can you set goals? That's where Trinity College London and the Rock and Pop syllabus from Trinity College London helps you to focus on particular goals so you may achieve it in an organic fashion. Organic fashion meaning you just can't be a pro level instrument player in just 3 weeks. So Trinity College London has devised a methodology in which you are able to understand different levels of music. Has anyone here attempted grade examinations?
So I'm in piano grade 4 and guitar grade 2.
Okay, you are
No.
in piano grade 4 and guitar grade 2. Malavika, can you explain what was your experience doing these examinations? Was it, in an organic fashion, or was it like giving you a grade 8 piece straight away to go and attempt and do an exam?
The level progressed as the grades went up, so it helped me a lot, and the technical work and exercises too.
Yes, exactly. So you have a series of progression where you start as a beginner. Your beginner grades are initial to grade 3. From 4 to 5, you are an intermediate level player. And from 6, 7, and 8, you are an advanced intermediate or advanced level player. Okay. So that choice will help you reach your goal. So you have 3 levels, just like how you play your video games or your games on your smartphone or your PlayStation or your Xbox. You have different levels. The first one will always be an easy level. The second one will be an intermediate level. Third one will be a professional or an advanced level. Okay. So you somewhere down the line, you always have to start as a beginner, move on to an intermediate level, and then move on to a professional level. That's where these boards help you to achieve your dreams. And Trinity College London has 2 syllabuses to achieve your dream. One is the standard classical syllabus. The other one is a more contemporary rock and pop syllabus. The song that you heard me play right at the beginning was from the classical or the rock and pop. Can you please tell? Can
Rock
someone
and pop
please?
syllabus.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it is from the rock and pop syllabus. So the rock and pop syllabus is more focused into real songs, real skills that you can achieve. It's your, we can put it in this way, it's your daily set list in your Spotify. So you have songs from Spotify converted into a beginner level. And that, by the way, was an intermediate level. And you have so many songs in the beginner level that are like very trending in YouTube. Say, for example, songs by Imagine Dragons. You know the band, right? So you have them right at the beginning, grade initial and grade 1. Can you believe that? They sound massive, but Trinity College has simplified these songs so that beginners or even intermediate players like you all can play them. That's where these people help you realize your dreams with the songs of your choice. Hope I'm clear on that. And apart from giving you your favorite songs to practice, they also give you a certificate and they also qualify you in music, which is accepted worldwide. Worldwide qualifications. So many have attained these particular qualifications and they have went abroad to become professional musicians, professional teachers, and even professional background musicians. I can quote my teacher, Mr. Robin Thomas. He has been a professional teacher after grade 8. He's an amazing performer. He has got a very, very, very good band called Orfeo. You might have seen them on YouTube. If not, please check them out. And his colleague is Mr. Stephen Davis at Chaitanya Music School. You know who Stephen Davis is, right? He's an ace. Yes, he's an ace piano player right now in India. So he has completed grade 8 too. So these many people have completed, and right now they are chasing their dreams of being professional musicians. So that's where boards like Trinity College, Rock School can help you achieve your dreams in a very systematic fashion and in a very organic fashion. Okay, the website is there right in front of you. So if you
Sir,
want,
I had a question.
yes, please.
Sir, is there any course for like music production and DJing in Trinity College?
Yes, I'm coming to that. I'm
Oh, okay,
coming to
sir.
that. I will address all of them in the Q&A section. So
All right, sir.
we are almost at the end. All right. So hope you guys enjoyed my session, and a huge thank you to all of you for finding time to be in this session, and moreover, I enjoyed interacting with you all. You have been such a wonderful crowd and been giving me a lot of insights. So thank you to all of you, and I would like to give a special shout out to Ms. Mary Miranda for giving me this opportunity to present the capabilities of music. All right. Now it's discussion time. And Antariksh,
Yes,
you
sir.
gave me a question like, is there a qualification from Trinity College for DJing and music production, right?
Yes, sir.
Not from Trinity College London, but there is another board called Rock School, which gives you a certain certification level by level on music production and DJing. But once you are into music production, you will have a profound idea about DJing as well. So I think that's the only qualification that you need. DJing will come
Yes,
by
sir.
practicing.
Yes,
So
sir. I am doing music production right now, so I know.
that's good. That's great. What software are you using?
So FL Studio 20.
That's great. That's great. Good job. Good job. Anyways, that's nice too. You guys are into music production too. That's great. Good job. Yeah. Anyone else with any more doubts?
No, sir.
Are you all sure?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So this is my contact. These are my details. You can contact me on any of my number. You can also contact me on my email address if you have any doubts. I am the director of Notes and Chords School of Music, and I also work with Trinity as an academic support team member and an academic consultant, Trinity College, India. So if you have any doubts, you may ask right now. Also, if you want to perform your favorite instrument, you can do that too. Please consider this as an opportunity. I would love to see you all perform.
Okay, sir.
Yes? No? Maybe? Or
Sir,
is it
I
like-
want.
Yes. Yes, tell me.
Sir, I want to learn drums, sir. But
Okay. You want to learn drums. All right. But what is stopping you from learning the drums?
sir, I didn't know from where I should learn it.
You don't know from where you should learn drums.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I can help you with learning drums. You may please note down my number. Give me a call. I'll give you more details on your lesson.
Okay, sir.
You can see it on your screen, right? I've
Sir?
got two numbers. You can see it on the screen. I
Yes,
have
sir.
displayed my number, and you may reach on any of those numbers or even my email address.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys, any doubts? Anyone with anything?
No, sir. No, sir.
No. Okay, So I'm going to stop. Guys, have you noted my contact details?
Yes, sir.
Can
Yes,
I stop
sir.
sharing?